Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Those are the people that just don't seem to get it. Okay, the entire school system since you were a child. See, number one, to come into the truth movement, if you're really concerned about truth, you've got to check your fucking ego at the door, okay? You do not know everything, okay? I know a lot of you think you do, but you don't. I certainly don't. But I do have balls to ask questions of shit that doesn't make sense. And I have the balls to ask why I wasn't taught a bunch of shit of how the world really works when I was in school, instead of taught a bunch of shit about how I should follow what people in DC or my state capital say because they're somehow smarter or better or were born with different chromosomes than me. No, they were born with more money, okay? Money makes the world go round. You ever think where that phrase come from? How does that relate to the flat earth? Gravity doesn't make the world go round. Money makes the world go round in your fucking mind. Because that's what they've spent all their money convincing you of. Now you can say, oh, they thought the globe was, they thought it was a globe for hundreds of years. Okay, and the same bloodlines, the same money makers, the same money changers have been in power for decades, centuries. Okay? What is money? Money makes the world go round. Money is power. These people have held through their family bloodlines the majority of the money since any of us can remember. They have used it all to take over the world, literally. And they have used all of you to do it. Through your school system, through your education that you're so proud of, that builds your whole ego, your whole value in life, it's impossible for you to discard it and admit you were deceived. Let me tell you something. Even all the Globers I disagree with, you've been deceived. It's not your fault. You can let go of your ego. Nobody's gonna laugh at you except other people that can't let go of their ego. But people that have caught on to the con and realized the power grab that's taken place, they're not gonna laugh at you, they're gonna welcome you. You know who's gonna laugh at you? The rich motherfuckers that make the world go round. Because it doesn't literally go around. It's all figurative in your head. And they put little phrases like that out there. And you never realize what they mean. The worst thing that happened is why this war on terror, why all these weapons have come about, is because their Ponzi scheme started to fail. They can't justify printing off enough money to keep everybody occupied and distracted. And so all these people, 94, 95 million people in the United States alone out of work now? That's a lot of idle time to sit around and think. That's a lot of time to get on the internet and listen to the crazy people out there talking about how everybody's getting screwed constantly. So people start listening and putting two and two together. They taught you enough math to know that, putting two and two together. They just taught you only do it when you're told. Get you away from the agenda they have, well then you're a criminal or a terrorist. You can't print money in your garage, but goddamn it, for some reason they have a power to print off all they want, whether you want them to or not. And you're on the hook for it. Remember that. All of these hoax shootings, bombings, is all distraction to keep you. Go chase the new bone. Go chase the new bone. There are enough conspiracies that provide ample reasonable suspicion that could be brought into a court case. We see people convicted on so much less evidence in courts constantly. So there are numerous things that you could pick out there. I'm telling you again, the worst thing they fear is the hive mind. The one thing they fear is 300 million people in the United States coming together on one topic and saying, this makes no sense. We need answers. Why is the flat earth so important? Because it shows the deception. There are enough reasonable questions to create reasonable suspicion that we've been lied to. They can't afford to keep being asked. Whether the earth actually turned out to be diamond-shaped, cross-shaped, pear-shaped, there's enough to see that it's not what we've been told. And once that is revealed, everything these governments have done becomes illegitimate. That is why it matters. And that is why they will do anything they can to keep us fighting, keep us distracted, keep us at odds against each other, just like the entire world. Whether it be Christians against Muslims, blacks against whites, you name it. Seahawks versus Broncos. Why does our education system never teach us how to filter water properly? Why does our education system not teach us? I just saw an article today about a bike. It must be something to do with magnetism and a bike generating power. Oh, you ride this bike. In a 1-hour workout, it could power your home for 24 hours. So your government that loves you so much that is out to better your life is going to start selling those right away, right? Because they want you to have free power. They want you to be in shape. So killing two birds with one stone, riding that bike, getting in shape, powering your house for the day, that's what they would want because they care about you, right? That would free up more money to do things. But they never seem to teach us. Your tax dollars never seem to buy you one of those bikes to put in your house to run your shit for free. They only ever seem to provide you a job that you have to go to the majority of your life to make money to buy that power from someone else. Do you see how that works? Does that sound like a government that truly has your best interest, your freedom at heart? Or does it sound like a government that wants to keep you constantly busy on paying attention to anything but what they're doing? And this truth movement is no different. Because as soon as the topic starts going where everybody could actually make a stand and say, hey, wait a minute, this needs to be answered. This is a big one. And I don't care what anybody says, the flat earth, the shape of the earth is the biggest conspiracy and has been used to manipulate, deceive, and control us all. If God forbid everybody came and started demanding answers, and once they can't provide those answers, people realize they are busted. It can't be a mistake. It can't be anything but the deception and control mechanism it is. That is why they fear the flat earth. Flat earth is not a psyop. Flat earth destroys the psyop. Every psyop that's been used to control us. for as long as they've known about it. And considering I can sit here and make real world common sense observations, I imagine people hundreds of years ago could have too. So this system has been in power and control for hundreds of years, ever since they convinced the rest of the world that they didn't know where they live, and created this fantastical scenario to make people feel insignificant and to follow those that appear to know better, that are just better liars, deceivers, that have no conscience, and will do everything and anything to everybody and anybody they can to keep that power. And now they've got a bunch of weapons, a bunch of things that can kill a lot of people, and now they're being forced. It's coming time to where they're gonna have to use that, because people are waking up. And no matter how much they try to suppress this flat earth movement, oh, it's gonna keep moving one way or another. You can see it. People are waking up. So now, louder than ever, I can hear that clock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. As they try to pass all these laws to control, put corporations in control of everything. It's their last-ditch effort to get all these fucking zombies that are still deceived out here and still think their laws are valid and have to be followed. They've got to use those to now try to suppress us and keep us from exposing their lies, because once their deception of where you live, the most basic thing we should all learn, and in 2015 they should be able to explain in real world simple terms without using math and experiments from hundreds of years ago that they can claim to this day are valid but can't be replicated, and 90% of the world can't comprehend their voodoo math. Well, the 10% that can comprehend it aren't comprehending anything. They've just bought into it. It's a religion. It's all a religion. You know why? Because government is a religion. Government is the majority of the world's true God, because they believe that these people have some sort of power, and they've even convinced us that we've given it to them. They still have us convinced in 2015, the age of instant communication, that we, for some reason, need representatives in a city that's not even part of this country called Washington, D.C. to represent us. That in this age of instant communication, we can't represent ourselves for some reason. That's how deep the brainwashing and the indoctrination has gone. They still have you convinced that this government should be run on the same system it was run when people were back on horseback using telegraphs and Pony Express. That's why they had these representatives, had to go to Washington, so that they could go back home to this group of a few 100,000 people and say, well, what do you guys want? Okay, I'll go tell them. And they travel for a week to Washington, D.C. or however long it takes. That's why you needed representatives. Now I can push this button and talk to anybody in the world. What the fuck do I need a representative for? Because it's the power system, the control system. They have to keep indoctrinating you in schools, teaching you about everything and anything but where you live.